What's up guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the final episode of the Saturday knockout $150 on GGPoker. We are already sitting at the final table and now we have 18.6 big blinds. We are 7 out of 8 players. Luckily there's one other short stack and we're gonna start right here. King deuce, just an easy fold. We're gonna watch the whole thing unfold because there's also quite some interesting hands happening where we are not involved, but some interesting ICM play. For example, the jam here. First I thought that's pretty loose, pretty aggro. However, I think it's probably a fine play because he should get a lot of folds. Calling here with ace-jack, I guess it's a good exploitative call if he believes he can jam that wide. And he was right. I mean, obviously he's super lucky to be involved against king-jack and not against king-queen, because then he's not that much of a favorite, still a favorite. I'm guessing H. Anastasov is just playing for the win. And then you probably need to call in that spot. However, given ICM, I think ace-jack suited will often be a fold. But then again, this is a bounty tournament where you want to take smaller edges, I guess, to build a big stack and to actually ship it, because usually there's just so much more money to be made if you are able to take it down for all the bounties. We have an all-in from the small stack, but nobody calls, unfortunately. We want to see him bust, obviously. We need to be careful here. In retro, I even think I can play this slightly tighter than I did, because we have these 15-hand blind levels, which really is a very slow structure. Usually in a normal tournament you have 12 hands at the final table until the next blind's up, and if it's a turbo I think you have 8 hands. But with 15 you really can take your spots very deliberately, especially if you are like a mid or low stack. I mean, if you're the shortest stack, if you were in his shoes, Christian's shoes, we need to take the edges because we really want to double here. But with our stack, having another short stack here, our hands are quite tight. I think we can easily make a lot of ICM mistakes by playing medium strength hands like 10-9 suited, ace-10 off, king-jack off, stuff like this. If you overplay these, we are very easy to make big ICM mistakes, especially if you have players that are capable of 3-betting light and bluffing us. Yeah, 7-5 suited, I probably want to see a defend against the min raise. It just plays okay post flop. And we're getting a good price unless there's another re-raise, and now we just have the easiest fold ever. I'm expecting Pablo to be light here quite often. I wouldn't be super surprised to see a 4-bet jam and a fold. But yeah, obviously sometimes there are setups. And we see the 4-bet jam. Yeah, and now with him tanking, I'm guessing he already made up his mind to fold. Probably just a ace-x hand that he 3-bet, or maybe some king-jack, king-queen maybe. Ace-6 here, I'm gonna jam if it's getting folded to me, obviously, even though we have a short stack, but I think. And if Pablo opens, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you would re-jam. Let's say everybody folds and Pablo min raises. Do you jam ace-6 here, or you just fold? Or what's your play? I think both are viable, but yeah. Queen-7, nothing to do here except folding. Yeah. I don't even know. I think this is a snap fold. Even if everybody would fold to my button, I still have to let it go. 10-6, another trash hand. Just into the muck with it. 3 deuce. Don't even have to comment on it. It's nice to see Julep Bull is sitting out. Quite surprising. If you look at the stack sizes, the big middling stacks are all very, very close to each other. So there's a very interesting ICM dynamic, I would say, for especially these 30 big blind stacks here. they really cannot play too crazy because they would give away a lot of ICM value if they overplay the hand with us two shorties involved. And he just rips it, which seems the right play against... I mean, sometimes he's probably limping aces here, but I guess given the dynamics on this table, he's probably still opening most of them. Queen check, I think it's an easy fold. If it was suited, probably it's still a fold. So queen check off is just quite terrible here. 10-3, of course, marking it right away. In the big blind, queen 5, it could be a defend against button or... But other than that, I think if Christian would jam, it would be quite terrible, but we still would have to fold. But luckily he doesn't. So yeah, just snapping it into the muck. Oh yeah, he tanked for quite a while here, if I remember correctly. He's been sitting out before, so maybe he has some connection issues. Check 9, that's interesting now, because in GTO it would always be a jam. Now it's of course a fold, but if we're getting folds to our small blind, it will always be a jam in GTO, just given chip EV, but given ICM, I think it will be just a fold. Maybe you can limp. However, I believe H. Anastasov will re-raise way too wide, so it will not be a profitable limp. King deuce, also just marking this one. We're just hoping to ladder here. I mean, like I said, with the slow blind levels, we can still ladder a bit, and the ladders are quite significant, as you can see. Next bump is $700, and then the next is almost 1,000. We're just getting pretty trashy hands, nothing to do. I expect him to open his button when everybody folds almost 100%. These guys are just, the hands are tight with the small stacks. And now we really hope that Christian will be all in soon. Maybe he takes this one. It's an interesting one. Yeah, he finds the defend here and donk jams. Just imagine, I mean, he's never donk jamming a 5, I guess, so yeah, open-ender makes sense. One of his outs is blocked by the 7 here, and luckily he doesn't hit it, and we make another money bump. Really happy about this one. Also, we don't care about this relatively small bounty. 7-4, again just mucking. Now we are clearly the short stack, so there's no reason to hold back when we get a hand where we have an EV advantage. This is interesting because we're still under the gun in a 7-handed scenario, and just laddering again is worth so much. So I really like that I didn't just rip it in. Of course we cannot fold this, especially with our small stack. So we're gonna raise here, and probably if some late position players decides to play against us, we still flick it in. But if there was like a re-raise and the re-raise, we still can find the fold. Given ICM. Still picking up some blinds, it's worth a lot. ICM value should go up again from 5,900. Let's see. Oh, there we skipped some hands, so we lost some value again. Anyway, ace 10 here. I already made up my mind. I'm pretty sure if late position opens, just gonna rip this. Of course, if there's a 3-bet, we fold the ace 10. But against this player, you can see is 50% steal. It's an easy rejam, especially from a 12 big blind stack. Took a little bit of time. I think that's always good. Generally speaking, you have such a big time bank. If you're at a final table with so much at stake, take the time you need. Really think over all the spots, and also you make yourself less readable, like snap jamming or tank jamming. Kind of try to be persistent with what you do. Yeah, 4-3 into the muck. Finally, our ICM value is above 6k again, which is very nice. Yeah, I remember this hand. King queen off, quite strong from 16 big blind. Again, I would probably put this to 9 or 8.5 big blinds. But yeah, when we face a raise from him, he's a very good reg. So I'm expecting him to open a lot of ace-x hands that we beat. Maybe something like king check, king 10, queen check. Queen 10, Jack 10, maybe, because he still wants to steal, I think. He is one of the players that will probably go for the win here and trying to get every edge that he can. So I decided to jam it, which is, I think the jam is okay. However, yeah, quite unlucky when you face a cold 4-bit rejam, and we are way behind. Ace King makes sense. Let me know what you think about this play in the comments. Would you just call, min click it, or even fold with our stack as the short stack? Is this just a cooler, or did I overplay it? Let me know. I'm still not completely sure. But yeah, that was it, the final table. Not the result I was hoping for, like with so much on top. If we finish top 4, we probably get over 10k, including the bounties already. So yeah, but it is what it is. Still a nice cash for me. I rarely play these stakes, so I was not happy, but you cannot complain too much. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. More tournament reviews coming up soon. I have some PLO tournaments, but also other stuff coming up. Stay tuned for that. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye, and good luck at the tables.